Hello and welcome to Capsule Closet Stylist. My name is Michelle Barrett. I've been a personal stylist for 23 years, dressing celebrities and everybody else and helping them maintain their wardrobes, create capsule wardrobes that mix and match easily and become much more intentional about what they buy. So today I've got something quite exciting to talk to you about. Now, this company called The Clothes Doctor, I'd come across already. They produce eco products which help you maintain your clothes. So they have like washes specifically for, say, sportswear, cashmere. They have sprays for clothes to help them help maintain them in between dry cleaning. Because one of the biggest myths that I see out there is that people often will send something for dry cleaning because they think that's the best option. And with some fabrics, it probably is. But one thing that I will tell you is dry cleaning is so damaging to clothes. So if you can maintain them and revive them in between, you're going to be saving yourself not only a lot of money in buying dry cleaning, but also long term in the damage to your actual clothes. So I'm quite excited to open this box. So they've sent me, they wanted to send me something, and I genuinely think this is a fantastic idea. The box smells amazing. It smells absolutely amazing already. They also do little bags to hang up with your clothes to stop moths. They've got these revival sprays, brushes as well to maintain clothes. So I have their wardrobe refresh kit. So I'm going to take a look at that now so I can show you. So I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can take a better look at this. So what have we got first? I can't even explain to you. I wish you could smell what I can smell currently. It smells like lavender. I presume it's one of the clothes bags. In fact, I think it's this one. So this is Protect Me lavender, sandalwood and eucalyptus natural fragrance bag. It smells absolutely amazing. I can't even, it's so lovely. Then this is, what do we have here? So what is this one? This is lavender, sandalwood and eucalyptus again. So nice. I'm so excited to use these. I can't even tell you how excited I am to use these. We also have, what have we got here? And these little bags as well are really lovely. Like it's all kind of cotton, and paper, leather balm. Okay, so this is the little leather kit. So you can use this to revive leather and keep it kind of really supple as well. Natural sponge. And a little cloth to go with it as well. So this is kind of for your leathers. So actually I'll show you at some point how to use these. I'm really excited to use these. I can't even tell you how. Yeah, so this is the leather care kit. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Leather care kit. So yeah, so I've got these two Protect Me clothes bags to hang up in my wardrobe or put in my drawers. The leather care kit. This I think is a clothes brush, and I'm really excited about this because I have a very, very long haired pussycat called Sir Ronald Weasley, and his fur gets everywhere. Look at that. Number 23, Clothes Doctor. Clothes brush. So I'm going to demonstrate how to use that as well. I will show you how to use that as well. Finally, as well, last but not least, I nearly missed this, it was in a tiny little envelope, is their number 21, their cashmere comb. Now what this is really, really good for is removing bobbling on cashmere and knitwear. Now the reason why that comes about is because most natural fibres, like cashmere obviously, are shorter than man-made fibres. So as you wear something and it's rubbing against your skin, gradually the fibres work their way to the surface, and that's why you get that bobbling. But I know, I often speak with clients and they sort of say to me, oh, I've got this jumper, it's really lovely, but it's gone really bobbly, I don't know what to do with it. Here you go. So I do have some cashmere trousers which I will demonstrate how to use this on as well. So there's the 3 bottles in here, but look what's inside. So even like they've even thought really carefully about what to use to protect everything on the inside. Everything is in aluminium bottles as well, which is infinitely recyclable. It's all packed in paper, so I can recycle all of this. It all smells so good. So this is number 3, Eco Wash for cashmere and wool. I am really excited to use this. I do have some cashmere, and cashmere is so delicate. You have to be really, really careful about how you do wash it. Let's see what that smells like. Oh, that smells good. That smells really good. So that's up to 16 washes. Again, completely aluminium bottle. Look, it's even got aluminium top to it. So that's the cashmere and wool one. What have we got here? Eco Wash for silk and delicates. Again, brilliant idea, because of course cashmere and silk is often, people often do take it to the dry cleaners, and I understand why, because they're worried about washing it, but I will show you, I will demonstrate as well the best way to wash silk with this bottle, because you can do it, and actually it's better long term for your clothes than taking it to dry cleaners. Oh, that smells good as well. That's quite a subtle one. That smells a lot more subtle than the other one, but again, kind of, what have we got here? Aluminium bottles was the word I was looking for. And sportswear. So Eco Wash for sportswear. So again, I go to yoga regularly once a week, so I will use this for my sportswear. So how does this smell? That smells really good. It smells really good. So yeah, check them out. I am now going to show you some little videos of how I've used all this. So definitely check out their washing liquids. So you've got the silk and delicate, sportswear and cashmere and wool. So I'll show you how I use those, because they're all great for kind of maintaining clothes. Also check out their revival sprays, because I think that's a really, really good idea, particularly, you know, between dry cleaning. So give it a little bit of a spritz, so you don't have to take things to the dry cleaners so often. And I'm actually going to hang this up in my wardrobe now and put one of these in the drawers. I'll also show you how to use the leather here and the Eco clothes brush. I'm quite excited. So first up, I wanted to show you the clothes brush. Now, I've got a really long haired cat. You might have seen him in some of my videos. He loves to appear. If I don't let him in, he often scratches at the door. And this dress is like 100% jersey cotton, and as you will know, if you've got a pet, it always attracts dust and pet hair. So this is like a natural brush, which I love. Most of the brushes that you get are either these ones with sticky bits on, which you then dispose of, or they're the kind of plastic ones that have got the sort of, I suppose, velvety bit on the other side, which attracts it. This is, I don't know whether you can see this, but this is working really well. So what I would do, I've already started at the top here, because I would always start from the top and work my way down. And the reason why is because, particularly with cat hair or pet hair, so I'd start off in the front there and then go to the back, and as you can see, you can probably see here on the back all the bits of fluff on it. So I'd start off like this at the top, getting into all the creases, pull the colour up, and then maybe put the collar down so I can catch anything on the collar, and gradually work my way down. Definitely starting at the top. Always start at the top. And I don't know whether you can see, but I'm not going backwards and forwards. I'm just doing down strokes with the brush all the way down. So you can actually get this brush from the Clothes Doctor either on its own. I'm sure it's in some of their other kits as well, but I got it as part of the wardrobe refresh kit. And there you go. I don't think you can see that, but that's made a huge difference straight up. And I guess I can just catch the excess and throw that away. Now, another way to revive clothes, not only removing all the fluff and everything, but also is to remove the bobbling. And this is number 21. This is a bobble remover device, and it's in wood as well. Now, the reason why bobbling happens is usually with natural fabrics, the fibres are really short. So where your skin or something on the outside is rubbing against the fabric, it gradually rubs. And because the fibres are quite short, they make their way to the surface. So that's how you get bobbling. You can get it in natural fabrics, or also particularly when you've got something that's got man-made fibres in it, as well as natural fibres as well. So the way you remove this, it's really, really simple. Now, often the area that you get this kind of bobbling, I'm just going to turn this round actually, because I've already done a little bit on the front there. The area that you get kind of a lot of bobbling is often kind of around the bottom, or on the elbows, on jumpers, or on trousers, like at the bottom here there's a little bit of bobbling. Now, you don't need to put a lot of pressure on with this. Do it quite gently, because you'll feel kind of how it attaches itself to the fabric, and you can already see that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's already removing the bobbling already now. And this is a great way to revive a jumper. You know, I often hear with my clients, they'll come to me and they'll go, oh, you know, I've got this really wonderful, very expensive cashmere jumper, but it's gone really bobbly. I don't know what to do with it. I've not worn it in ages for that very reason. And there's no reason why you can't continue to wear it. You know, always try and choose your quality over quantity, but look after your clothes as well. So just really gently rub the surface. So there's a lot of bobbling here at the crotch area. You often get that. There, you can see there, look, where it's all come away already. So that's a great way to remove bobbling from a jumper and revive it and have a jumper or a piece of knitwear look like new again. Hi, so next I'm going to demonstrate to you how I wash my silks, cashmere, which are two really delicate fabrics, mainly because they're kind of natural fabrics, and then also sportswear. So I've got three different items here for you. I've got the number 4, which is the silk and delicates, which I'm going to demonstrate to you first, because there is a way to kind of wash silk that makes it kind of much easier and kind of reduces the damage to the fabrics as well. There are instructions on the bottles as well, so if you do decide to grab one of these, do have a look at the instructions on the bottles. This is number 5 for the sportswear, so I've got a long sleeve swimming costume that I'm going to wash because I'm a regular dipper in the sea, and you do have to be quite careful with swimwear as well. And then number 3, finally, the cashmere. I've got a cashmere blanket here which I'm going to wash as well. So I'm going to do it all hand wash. You can obviously use all these in the washing machine as well, but I thought it was much easier for me to demonstrate them actually by doing hand wash. So I'm going to get started. Okay, so first up I'm going to wash this silk dress. So the first thing that I would do is fill the sink with cool water. It has to be cool water. And I think this says up to 15 caps of liquid to go in the water. So I'm going to kind of fill this up so that it will pretty much cover the garment, because one thing that you need to be aware of with silk is you don't want to squeeze it too much. So I'm going to show you at the end. So once I've applied this, I'm going to put some caps in here. So I'm actually going to I don't think I'm actually going to need that much, so I'm going to kind of put in what I would say would be about a normal kind of cap size of washing liquid. I'm just going to bubble that up a little bit there and get that going. Right, so now that smells really good. So one of the first things that you need to know about silk is you don't want to screw it up, because the more you kind of squeeze it, especially when it's wet, it can really damage the fabric. So when I put this in, I'm just going to gently move it around, kind of roll the fabric over rather than really squeezing it and scrunching it. I'm going to kind of just roll it over. And what you will likely find as well, one thing that's really important with the silks, is you'll likely find that the colour will bleed. So always wash them separately. You know, if you've got something that's silk and it's like ivory, or you've got something like this which is, you know, got quite a lot of colour in it, always wash them separately. And then once you've removed the conditioner, so you've given it a final rinse in cool water again, Don't screw it up again, like I said. But one of the things, the best things that you can do is, so I've washed it, I put conditioner on, I've given it a gentle cool rinse again. So now I'm going to lay it on this towel. This is a way to remove the excess water without actually damaging the fabric. So if you lay a towel out flat, lay your garment onto it, kind of as much down it as possible. You know, when you do this, you might have a bigger towel and you might have a bit more space. I'm just using this one just to demonstrate. And then gently roll the garment up in the towel. Now I can actually leave this for 10 minutes or so, just so that it actually removes the excess water from the garment. It's a great way, particularly with delicate fabrics like silk, to remove that excess water without damaging the fabric. Okay, so next I want to talk to you about number 5, which is the sportswear. I am not a huge sports person, but I do go to yoga and I'm actually learning to swim at the moment properly. I go to swimming classes and I also take regular dips in the sea. So today I'm going to show you using this with my long sleeve swimming costume. So first up, I'm going to put some warm water in the sink. So obviously this is perfectly fine to use in the washing machine. Again, this is Sir Ronald Weasley, he always has to get involved in everything I do. So I'm just going to put about a capsule worth in the water here, and obviously, like I say, you can use this in the washing machine. But with things like swimwear, you have to be quite careful with these fabrics as well. Like a lot of them will say just rinse it out, but I do think sometimes, particularly if you warm something quite a lot, it does tend to start smelling a little bit damp, so it's quite good to give it a little bit of a wash. So unlike the silks, I can be a little bit more kind of interactive with this fabric. I'm just going to give it a good, again, it smells really good. Their washing liquids smell really good. So I'm just giving that a good kind of soak round. You can actually see the sea coming out of it actually. You always notice it when you've worn it in the sea. So I'm going to let that water out now after giving that a good soak. So I've rinsed this through with a little bit of fabric conditioner. Now sometimes they say don't use fabric conditioner on these sorts of fabrics, but I kind of like to use just a little bit now and again. You don't have to do it all the time, but I like to use it a little bit now and again just because it is really close to your skin, obviously. So I've given it a little bit of rinse in a little bit of fabric conditioner, and now I'm just giving that a good squeeze out in clean warm water, just to remove the excess of that soap. Now obviously if you're going to use this in the washing machine, just use your own washing instructions and put it on the correct setting. One thing I will say actually, with the silks, I forgot to say earlier, with the silks and the towel, I would use an old towel, particularly if you're doing it on quite a dark silk, because sometimes the dye can bleed onto the towel. So there we go, that's good to hang up. So last but not least, I wanted to demonstrate the cashmere and wool. Now again, this is quite a delicate fabric because again, it's a natural fabric. Now, I wouldn't, unless you've got a really gentle setting, I wouldn't put cashmere in a washing machine. That being said, I have put this in a washing machine before. Now, there's a couple of little marks on here. So I'm actually just going to put a little dab of this on there, directly on there, and just rub that in a little bit, like that, just before. Oh, it smells so good again. All of these smell so good. Honestly, I wish you could have smell-o-vision, you could smell how good they smell. I mean, like I said, when I first received the box, it was just opened it and it was like, you know, my senses were alive. Okay, so already I think that's a hot chocolate drop there from my daughter on this blanket. We have this blanket on the sofa, so I'm just giving that a little bit of a rub in there now before I put it into the sink. Now obviously when you do any of these, you can leave it to soak for a little while, which makes sense. You know, with the silks I'd be a lot more gentle, but obviously you can spend a little bit more time with this than I am demonstrating today. Okay, so that's the little marks that I wanted to kind of put some directly on there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this in here now. It smells so good. And then give it a little bit of a rinse round like that. I think I'm going to put a little bit more in actually. I didn't put quite enough in. There we go. It smells so good. Honestly, actually, when you smell the bottles, it smells so much stronger when you actually use it. Okay, so this is quite a big blanket, and actually I could do with a bigger sink, obviously. But for demonstration purposes, this is the best place for me to kind of show you this. So obviously, you know, you'd have a sink that would be better. What you want to do is make sure all of the fabric is covered by the water. And you know, you don't need to be quite as gentle as what you are with the silks, but still treat it with a little bit of care, particularly if it is like this is woven cashmere, so it's not quite as delicate as knitted cashmere. So if you've got anything in a jumper or lounge pants or anything like that, the chances are it's knitted. So if that's knitted, you would need to be a lot more careful with it. The reason why is because even with this woven, you know, it can stretch and become kind of really thin in certain areas and then kind of baggy in others, and you don't want that. So be as gentle as you can with it. I'm actually going to put a little bit more water in here, because since I've put the blanket in, it's absorbed it all, because it's not very big space on this one. So what I'm going to do, give that a good soak round in the fabric, and I'm actually going to leave that now. I'm going to leave that for about 30 minutes. Okay, so I've left that for about 30 minutes. I've put some fabric conditioner on it. I've also given it a rinse through. So now all I need to do is wring this out as much as possible. So what I'll do is let the water out. And I will wring this out as much as possible, and then I'm going to put this on a gentle spin in the washing machine. This way I'm kind of treating it as delicately as I can, but just by then putting the gentle spin on it. Now obviously with any of these, you can leave them in a little bit longer. Obviously you might have a bit more space, but like I say, the one thing that I would be really careful with is particularly the silk. Use an old towel to roll it up in the end. Try not to squeeze it too much. Treat the cashmere with a little bit of care as well. And with the sportswear, I'd minimise using anything with fabric conditioners, but these are fantastic because they're specifically developed. All of these washing liquids from Clothes Doctor are specifically developed to maintain your clothes as much as possible. And if you are building a capsule wardrobe, then you want to choose quality over quantity, so you want to keep that quality in as best condition as you can. So yeah, I definitely look at it because they smell amazing. So last but not least, I want to demonstrate to you, this is the last of the pieces that I have in the wardrobe refresh kit from the Clothes Doctor. It's number 11 and it's the leather balm. Now obviously this is mainly for shoes. You could use it on shoes, I guess you could even use it on jackets, but I thought just for demonstration purposes I thought I'd show it to you on this leather belt, which I've had for years. You can see it's quite distressed. I've had this for a really, really long time. So it's got quite a subtle smell. So what I need to do with this is, it suggests that I apply the balm. So it's in a little pot, a little aluminium pot again, which is great for the environment. This is one of the biggest things that I love about this brand. And it says apply it all over with the sponge. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to apply it all over the belt. Obviously you would do the same if it was on your shoes. Particularly in this area here where I think it gets a lot of work and a lot of use, where obviously the buckle goes in. Actually, you can see it's changing colour already. I don't know whether you can see that. One thing it does say on the instructions, always look at the instructions obviously, one thing it does say is to remove any dust from you know, the shoes or whatever it is you're applying it to. So I'm just going to put a little bit more on the end here. Okay, so that's covered it. And now I need to leave that to dry. So I've left this for about half an hour to dry. I guess depending on how big the surface area is, it might take a difference in how long you leave it. And so now I'm going to use this little cloth, which comes in their leather kit as well, to polish it up. So I'm just going to give it a good rub. Now they often say, actually, when you're polishing anything, to do it in circular. Look at that, it's already coming up. Do it in circular movements. I don't know exactly why that is. Somebody else, one of you might know why that is, but they do say to do it in circular movements. I can actually see already that this is starting to make the leather look a lot more shiny. I don't know if you can see that. It's definitely doing something. Obviously there's areas on this belt where it's quite distressed, and on a normal pair of shoes that wouldn't be the case. So I'm just polishing all that up, giving it a good circular motion. Obviously a circular motion is a lot easier on a pair of shoes. Let me try and hold a belt here. Yeah, it's definitely bringing it up. It's definitely making it look more shiny, which would look great on your shoes. So give it a good polish up. You can kind of feel when it's ready, look, you can see what's coming off it already. So it's obviously making a difference. Little circular motions where you can. So do that all over. And I might as well just say as well while I'm finishing this off, obviously with any of the items that I've demonstrated today, always look at the instructions on particularly any of your clothes. What clothing manufacturers tend to do is they tend to cover themselves as much as possible. So in other words, what I mean by that, they will put the lowest setting on the label to protect themselves so that you don't damage the clothes and they don't get kind of claims coming back. You know, a lot of clothes will say, you know, dry clean only. But, you know, obviously you take your own risk if you do decide to wash something like silk and it says dry clean only on it. But do obviously proceed with caution. But if something is washable, if it is a washable silk, then definitely don't screw it up while it's in the water. Like I showed you, cool water. Anything that's kind of, well, I was going to say anything that's natural, but actually cottons are absolutely fine. So yeah, it's cashmeres and silks mainly that you have to be really, really careful with. So yeah, always look at the washing instructions. With the towel, wrapping it around the silk, like I said, choose an old one. And in a washing machine, choose a gentle setting as well, particularly on those silks and cashmeres. So there we go. That's made that look really lovely. I don't know whether you can actually see that, but that's definitely made that look really lovely. So that's my final piece. So I absolutely love all these products. I genuinely do. If you followed me for a while, you'll know that I'm a big fan of buying quality over quantity, thinking really carefully about what you buy and maintaining and looking after what you have. The planet can't carry on with the way we're treating it. So this brand is a great example of a company who's trying to help you do that. They're trying to help you maintain your clothes, keep them of good quality and help them last for as long as possible without damaging the environment, which I think is fantastic. So take a look at that, and if you are interested, use the code CCS15, so CCS15, I'll put this in the notes as well, for 15% off. So you can't go wrong. Let me know how you get on, and let me know what you do as well to maintain your clothes and have them lasting for as long as possible. I'd love to hear all your tips and tricks. I'm always up for new ideas. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.